God owns everything, so whatever we have has only been entrusted to us as stewards. How does God expect us, or how does God want us to manage the resources that He has entrusted to us, and more so the finances? In this video, we are going to look at who is a steward, who owns it all, and how are we expected to faithfully manage the finances that God has entrusted to us. Hello and welcome to this channel, the channel where we talk about entrepreneurship. My name is Kafura Gishuhi. If you have not subscribed, please do, and don't forget to hit that button, the notification button, for you to be notified every time I upload a new video. So who is a steward? A steward is a manager, a caretaker, a custodian, or a keeper of somebody else's possession. So in this case, God is the owner and we are the stewards. Stewardship is all about our relationship with God, because He is the owner and we are the managers. And once we realize this, we will not have difficulties in being faithful stewards. I will start by quoting the book of Genesis chapter 1 and verses 2. The Bible tells us that the earth was formless, meaning there was nothing in the earth. Everything that there is was created by God, and that is why we say that God owns everything. Let's look at the book of Psalms, chapter 24 and verses 1. It says that the earth and its fullness belong to God. Psalms chapter 50 and verses 10, which says, "For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills. And I know all the birds of the mountain, and the wild beasts of the field are mine," showing that everything that is in the world belongs to God. He owns it all. The book of 1 Chronicles chapter 29 and verses 11, the Bible says, "Yours, O God, is the greatness, the power and the glory, the victory and the majesty, for all that is in heaven and in earth is yours. Yours is the kingdom, O Lord, and you are exalted as head over all." Let us now move on and see how a faithful steward should manage God's finances. One thing I want you to note is that our security is in God and not in money, and He is able to supply all our needs. So, a steward should be faithful, a steward should be honest, a steward should be diligent. If you remember the story of the servants in the book of Matthew chapter 25, the first two servants were faithful with their master's wealth. They were also diligent, and they were also honest. So now, let's see how a faithful steward is supposed to use the finances entrusted to them. 1. Giving. Giving to the church and to the needy. To the church, you give in form of tithes, offerings, and mission work, and maybe support a project which is going on in your local church. To the needy, identify a person and support that person. The book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verses 17 tells us, "He who has pity on the poor lends to the Lord, and He will pay back what he has given." Then number 2 is taking care of the needs of your family and also enjoying yourself. Pay your bills, pay school fees, provide food, and then you can enjoy yourself. This is what the Bible tells us in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verses 18. "Here is what I have seen. It's a good and fitting thing for one to eat and drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor in which he toils under the sun all the days of his life, which God gives him, for it is his inheritance." So it is good to enjoy the money that God has given you. Take a vacation. Go with your family and enjoy yourself. Number 3, saving. You save for a rainy day or for an emergency. Remember what Joseph did. He saved food for the Israelites. So when there was famine, the Israelites did not hunger because they had enough that Joseph had saved. Number 4 is investing. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 and verses 1 tells us, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." So this is investing. You will find what you have invested after many days. Remember also the book of Proverbs tells us that we leave an inheritance for our children. So when we invest, we will have something to leave for our children as an inheritance. A few things that I would like us to note. The first one is, for you to be able to carry out all this, you need a plan, or let's call it a budget, so that you are able to know how much to spend on each item. So it's good to have a plan on how you're going to spend. The second thing that I would like us to note is that as much as it is possible, keep away from debt. Borrow only when it is necessary, and borrow knowing that you'll be able to repay. The Bible tells us that anyone who borrows and is not able to repay is a fool, and we are not fools. The other thing that I would like us to note is it is good to avoid wastage. Buy only that which you need. Do not waste. Because this is money that God has given us, and I am sure He wouldn't want us to waste it. The other point, and the final one, I would like to quote the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verses 5. Let your conduct be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have. For He Himself has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next video, and God bless you.